Welcome back to Dan Has Fun with me, Daniel. Last episode playing Humankind, I don't even remember what we did. It's been a while. Obviously, these recordings are going up every week. It's probably been 3 weeks since I last did a video. I honestly do not remember what we were doing. But if we have a quick look at the map, we're doing fairly well. I do remember that Magenta and Orange have been going to war. I know that we were bullying Brown from pretty much the game's inception. Beyond that, I don't really remember what we were doing. So let's just plow on and see where things take us. I guess we'll try and find some more curiosities. Might as well do something with these random, warriors that I've left down here for some reason. We weren't fog busting anything. Maybe we were trying to put a settlement down here. Maybe that sounds like something I would have done back then, but I honestly do not remember whatsoever. Oh well. We'll pick it up, I'm sure. That's fine. Village has changed. Cultural conversion has ended. We have an offer for a non-aggression pact. We're just going to say okay for now. That's fine. Apparently the Persians are suspicious of us, but that might just be, more because we're stronger than them, and apparently they had a serious grievance with us. Oh, yeah, they have a lot of things that they don't like about us going right now, but yeah, we're going to basically ignore all of their problems and just keep going. Thank you, Mr. Kitty. The cat in the background doing a runner. Oh, well. So, we'll let it be for now. I'm fine with that. It would be nice to try and find something. Oh, there's a location we can go for. There's a lair there, too, that we could potentially ransack, but we're going to ignore it for now. We'll let our animal brethren live. The Growing Faithful gives us a new civic for religious rights, and we can enact communal rights or personal rights. If we go personal rights, we're going more towards individualism, as would make sense by the word personal, but it gives us cheaper religious district building costs. We're not really going to focus on either of those right now. They don't seem particularly deal-breaking. Is there anything else in here we should take? +1 city cap. No brainer. We used all of our influence. However, we were having a penalty here and it was costing us 10 influence a turn, so that'll pay for itself very, very quickly. Meanwhile, we've just got organized warfare, so we now have the ability to build a barracks. We can also get siege weapons. Probably very, very bad ones for the time being, but you gotta start somewhere. We can't see the unit in question anymore. I didn't want to fight those, but fine. We're gonna resolve it. I don't want to lose, but yeah, that was unnecessary. That's fine. Yeah, we won. We got 10 gold from it too, technically, for all that's worth. We need to pick a new tech. And we're gonna go philosophy because we need to get more science. Because as with any game that's Civ-esque, pretty much out-teching equals winning. That is just scouts from Orange down here. There's not a very good location, I suspect, down here for a settler, but we'll get an outpost down there, I'm sure.
Symbol of power. Only your friends know of the extensive wine cellar.
Housing has another population. That's fine. We got an osmosis event, so something that is interesting about this game that isn't really replicated in the main Civilization series is that if somebody has an event in proximity to you, sometimes you can benefit from it. Not always, but sometimes. So, for example, for Civics Osmosis, we can potentially revoke our codified laws and enact customary laws for legitimacy. We don't spend any influence to do so, and it increases our ideological proximity with the Persians. We're not doing that. We don't have any interest in doing that. Meanwhile, we still can't put down an outpost. You need at least 169 influence. Nice. But we're still going to go looking for that curiosity because we know it's here somewhere. There it is. That discovery we are going to go over and get. We can have a civic now for slavery. If you just do war slaves, you can get population on a ransack. If you go for criminal slaves, you can get some more food and some more production, but it's not a huge amount, so again, we're going to ignore it for now. I guess we should be thinking about it too. Do we want to declare war on anybody? Like Brown, for example. What do we have with them? We have open borders. They're afraid of us. Our war support is 96, so we could technically really go to war realistically at any point. I'm asking them to pay us 200 gold for some reason that I don't remember. Maybe we'll end up pushing that, I'm not sure. But they should be pretty wimpy. They're also not apparently allied to anybody, so maybe that would be something worth doing, just to try and take the space. But I don't want to be considered a warmonger either. Maybe we'll leave them alone just for now, let them build that city up before we take it out. Saves us having to spend it, right? That's fine. Apparently the Greeks have declared on the Huns, so that'll be magenta on black. Could get pretty spicy around the top of the map. Not our problem right now, but we will watch it just to see if we can jump on somebody. 80 gold's pretty good. Can't complain with that. I would have preferred science and influence, but, you know. Gold is never a bad option. Not a huge amount going on in our cities right now, though. I don't see that we're under threat anywhere. There's no expansion opportunity up there. Nothing of any interest going on around us, really. Yeah, looks pretty quiet so far. Really, the only interest is possibly with this faction. So these guys are neutral right now. They really don't trust us at all. Mainly because they are all the way on this side of the ideological spectrum towards tradition, and we are very much not in that direction. As a result, we're not going to be gaining patronage with them really at all, so we're just going to pretend they're not there and let the two nations above us squabble over it. That's absolutely fine. We have our second part of the Of Dogs and Wolves event chain. Apparently we have a good dog, yields of meat are up, and the city is well fed, so we get 10 extra food for 10 turns. Apparently the Greeks have changed how they feel about us. I wish it would just say on the pop-up rather than us having to go into this page. Apparently they're suspicious of us as well. Different religions, we're rivals apparently, and they have serious grievances against us. Apparently we stole their independent people, allegedly. Whatever they say. If I trade with them, they'll probably like me a little bit more. What do I have? So I have salt, coffee, and dye. We don't have pearls, but we can't afford to buy the pearls off them. We don't have porcelain, but we can afford porcelain. So porcelain gives us more money, so we're buying a resource to get more. So that's 180. That's 180. Okay, they're the same. We'll just get that bought.
Even if it's not yours,
try and make them a little bit friendly with us, because that's a new treaty. We can claim a territory down here. It's a particularly good location, though. I suspect not, because this is mostly snow, and honestly, this is garbage tile. But I predominantly just wanted to get the lead, because lead is science. But there's not a lot in this territory going for us. I'm not convinced there's a huge amount over here either, and I don't want to go here yet, because I feel like that would just provoke Orange into attacking us. Interestingly, the game is not suggesting a tile to us, which usually means the game thinks every tile is rubbish. Although that's not too bad. That's a 10 food, 9 production. Definitely seen a lot worse. The problem with it is, I guess it's adjacent to another district. Another region, I should say. 7-2, 7-2, 7-4. 9-10's not terrible, but it has the same problem. 3-11. 7-11's not bad. I don't think we're getting much better than that. 5-14 is interesting. But it's because we're predominantly surrounded by mountains, although that would make it harder for them to take out. So there is that going for it too. That would technically, yeah, that's in the other region, isn't it? Yeah, it is. This region is absolutely horrendous. 6A is about the best we have. Well, we'll get it down, I guess. Might as well get some value out of it, right? We can claim a wonder as well. Now, do we want to, or do we want to save our influence to found that settlement? So let's see what we've got available. So, Colossus of Rhodes. Militia are not lost over time during sieges. I don't think that's hugely important, honestly. Light of Alexandria, Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Light of Alexandria is just one giant light bulb. It gives you massive vision range, but really just buffs naval units, and this is a Pangaea style map, so that's not going to be all that useful. The Mausoleum of Halicarnassus gives us science. Tell you what, I'll claim it. I don't have to necessarily build it straight away, but it just means I'm going to have to wait a couple of turns before I can get down that outpost. Akkad has another population point. We might want to do a little bit of min-maxing with our cities. That looks alright. It's gaining food. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. Yeah, actually, these aren't too bad. I don't want to min-max it too much, because otherwise this game will be going on forever. The Greeks want a non-aggression pact. I am absolutely fine with that, because they'd be a pain to get access to anyway, because they're the one nation I really can't directly attack. So I am perfectly okay with that. There's also a curiosity over here, so we'll go and grab that while we wait to get enough influence to get down to the settlement. Knowledge authorities is now available. We can either go and get a science per research on a city or outpost, which is very... I like that. Or +1 city per number of trade posts on city or outpost. I get the feeling that that would be probably more helpful if I knew how to play the game more than I do. But because I don't know how to play this game very much, I think Elder's Wisdom might be better. Not that we can afford to do it right now. Anyway, we'll probably come back to it at some point. That or we'll forget, and it'll be a moot point. Again, we're getting an osmosis event, and this time in Akkad. Whether we want to take conscripts, we do not. And apparently we have gone from being, you know, a suspicious entity for the Greeks, and now they're just hesitant. Which is pretty much just middle of the road by the looks of it, from what I can understand. Meanwhile, Brown had apparently something to say. Nothing of any interest. I'm good. We got 60 gold from that curiosity. And we're going to start moving back there, ready for when we can get down our new outpost. There we go. Anything around me that I should be worrying about? I don't see anything. Okay, good. I'm not even convinced that Memphis has any units really protecting it. It does have fortifications, but I'm not convinced there's a huge amount there to worry about. We'll watch for it. If they stay a really easy target, we might have to be compelled to go after them. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Haojing has run out of things to do, apparently. We do have our unique district for the era being the Celts. Sacrifices some stability for faith and food. We're going to grab that first. Do we have a good tile for it? Oh, you bet we do. I'm going to put one of those down. We could get a harbour if we wanted more money. I'm not convinced that's hugely important right now. I wish for something like this lumberyard, for example, obviously it says the effects, but I wish it would tell you what the actual net amount is. Because otherwise the game seems to be implying that you should be counting every woodland and forest in your region. Which feels unrealistic. We are going to get a House of Scribes in anyway, then we'll get a lumberyard, and then we'll start working on the wonder. Let's put it somewhere that it probably won't be a hugely valuable tile. Probably this one food tile doesn't sound all that interesting. And we can have multiple cities building the same wonder, just to help speed it up. We might do that. Yeah, the game hates this region, clearly. I don't blame it, it's pretty garbage. But we're going to settle there anyway and get Al-Kharab located. How long is it going to take Al-Kharab? 4 turns. So we'll come back in 4 turns and get that all ready to go. Meanwhile, we can get some artisan corners to get the dye up and running, which we're definitely going to want to do. Let's get down one of our unique districts. And then we probably have a load of buildings or infrastructure projects to get doing. So We'll definitely get down the manufacturing ones. We have rivers in this area, so that'll be a good use as well. And end turn. Not a hugely event-packed episode so far, but they can't all be. That's fine. He's still afraid of us. That's okay. We've currently got a battle underway, apparently. We're stronger than this unit that attacked us. It's a bear. Only just. I'm just going to resolve that instantly. If we lose, I don't care. It's fine. We didn't lose. Again, we got 10 gold. It's fine. If they want to run units into us eternally and just give us free stuff, I mean, I'm not going to complain, right? We just researched philosophy. So we got another district that can boost science, which, like I said, we're definitely going to be trying to prioritize. And the school, which gives us more science on research quarters as well. There's that +1 city cap, so now we can go to a 4th city if we want to. I don't think there's actually a practical reason to do so yet. If we end up taking down this area as well, maybe we'll build a city along the bottom here and just have a terrible snow and ice city. We'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, over here, again, we want to get down one of our unique buildings. Not a great location for it available, apparently. Let's get the... That'll be what? Silk. I nearly call it dye, but that's silk. Back up and running. Marvelous stuff. And then this place needs to get a little bit in the way of hammers. And then, honestly, it's probably going to have to just prioritize getting a bit of defense down. Well, we'll get palisades. Just because of its location, it's... If I'm going to get attacked by practically any dangerous nation, it's going to be there. Meanwhile, we need new tech. I'm going to go for standing army so we can get iron. Just in case this spoils, you know, this spills over on the left-hand side of the map, and we have to protect ourselves. What unit's that? That's a scout? Okay, don't care. I was wondering if they were coming to attack me or not. And they're not. So the Egyptians are now in the classical era with the Maya. They're miles behind. Remember, that's the nation that we were bullying from the get-go. They are walking around with a 4-stack of warriors with... Nope, 3 warriors and an archer. Definitely worth watching, because that's not wimpy. For context, it's probably stronger than our defense in Feng Hao. So we do want to watch out for that and see what they do. Meanwhile, Akkad apparently is very, very unhappy. Why are you so unhappy? Wow, your stability is absolute garbage. Okay, so we need to deal with that post-haste. So we're going to get a public fountain. There's not really a huge amount else we can do to get our stability up massively. A garrison will increase it, but not by a huge amount. Is there anything else that will give us a lot more stability? These stone rings would. So let's get that down. Is there anywhere just really rubbish that we don't care that we plonk it down? Probably there. Stone rings. Yeah, we can't just spam build that, but what we're going to do, we're going to put the public fountain in first and then just buy it. And that will get our stability up at least a little bit. Our unique building is going to reduce it a smidge. But we might... Yeah, we're going to prioritize the stone rings. I don't really want to. But if we don't prioritize it, we actually wouldn't be able to build the other building anyway. They just won't let you do it. Meanwhile, the Persians and the Greeks have stopped warring one another. I don't see that... no, I don't really see much of the change. The mayor apparently going after the merchant badges. And apparently we just reminisced. And that has no effect on our game whatsoever, which is fine. Enter.
With 5 farmers' quarters, the people certainly have enough bread. Will 5 circuses be built next?
Funny guy, Mr. Commentator and Narrator, aren't you? Yes, right now, not a huge amount going on. We're really just building. This is going to be the calm before the storm. the 4 stack of brown units I don't see has gone anywhere near us, so that's fine. Greeks apparently have changed how they feel about us. They've gone now to jealous.
I hope you don't mind if I stare.
Because we are more powerful than them, primarily because another nation is attacking them. And I guess we should actually, while we have a moment, see where we are in terms of our era stars, because if we look at our era score, let's be real, we're not far behind. In terms of score, actually, it's very, very close between the top 5 players. However, we are behind on the actual era stars themselves because we delayed advancing. But as you can see, we're only 1 population away from an agrarian star. We are 2 techs away from a scientist star. We are miles away on the military and merchant side of things. We're 4 districts off a star. We're about halfway on influence towards 1. And we would need 3 more territories in order to get one of those. And I don't see that being a particularly practical thing that we're going to get. Al-Karab is now set up. So we are going to use some influence to get at least that down. What else can we possibly get access to? Here it is. And the game won't give you that prompt if there's something you can't get. I just couldn't find it because I am blind, apparently. So let's get that down. So we now have silver connected as well, which is also science, which is awesome. And we're actually going to get a harbour in. It does reduce stability, but you can get food and a little bit of science. It's not a lot. So a better place for it. 11 food's not bad. Yeah, let's get it down there. It gives us some vision too. Yeah, it gives us some vision, gives us a little bit of food, a little bit of science. And we're probably going to try and get another outpost over here and connect them together. We're going to use this scout because it's not really doing a huge amount. And it gives us a chance to wander over here because I just want to see how much more land there is. And apparently it's a not substantial amount, but it's worth having checked. Yeah, not a huge amount of land over here. Do we have a place around here that we'd want to settle? So this region is all here. I don't know what's in those 2 tiles, but it's fine. Again, we can have a pretty defensive location. We actually don't know what the reward would be there, which is funny. Do we have any particularly good tiles at all? I get that the game's trying to tell me that this isn't great land, but it can't be so abysmal that it can't recommend anything to us, right? Oh, well. Maybe it is trying to tell us what are you doing, don't settle here. 9-9's not bad. So yeah, so we're just going to settle an outpost over there, and then we're going to connect Al-Karab and whatever this outpost gets called together into a city of its own, and that way will be at 4 of 4. We just got an agrarian star. We also researched standing army, so we now have access to iron and our unique military unit for this era. Apparently, it's a unit renowned for fighting naked. Thank goodness that shield is there, huh? No combat strength penalty from damage, so it doesn't matter if you're starting to get chipped away, you'll still do your 100% amount of damage. We also have access to swordsmen. Swordsmen need iron. Interestingly, this unit does not, by the looks of it. Upkeep is the same, though. Yet the unique unit is weaker than the swordsman? That's a bit weird. Oh well, we can possibly look into it more next episode, because even though that wasn't the most incredibly interesting episode in the world, although the Greeks are starting to be a bit more passive-aggressive because of their jealousy, maybe we'll have to do something about them down the line. They're just in such an awkward place. I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Anyway, we'll save that for next time around. I appreciate you watching the video. If you did like it, give it a like. If you want to subscribe, feel free. Hopefully we'll end up with a little bit more action next time around. And if you want to find out, stick around. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching the video.